Good morning, everyone. Welcome to this debate. What we already know about our motion for today is online learning during COVID-19 pandemic. The COVID-19 pandemic lockdown response has a disproportionate and damaging effect on the lives, mental health, and well-being of young people globally. They have been neglected in policy making and their needs have been subjugated to those of adult age. Here, I agree that the needs and rights of young people must come first to protect their health, mental, and futures. If we do not this, we will let down a generation of children who will be the brunt of the fallout economic burden of the global COVID-19 crisis. The rights needs of children and adolescents have been ignored in the global pandemic crisis. This is a global disaster in the making, frankly, and we should be collectively ashamed our neglect of young people during this time. Our children are the very people who will be the brunt of the economic fallout of the pandemic lockdown and also the ones being most damaged by it. More and more, the evidence shows that children are not significant in the spread of the virus and they do not suffer from the virus. What they have done is giving up 5 months of their young lives and being given shitty examination results in return for the sacrifice. Let kids be kids and let them get back to living normal lives including going to school and taking part in after-school activities such as drama, music, singing, and sport. In my opinion, we need to be able to learn and play with our friends all the normal things we do at school. Normal means face-to-face playing and socializing, which is crucial for healthy development for youth to teens. Evidence increasingly shows that the lockdowns has a profound influence on the education, well-being and mental health of many of our youngsters and this impact will be a long-term, lasting many years. The consequence for child development in the years to come could be faced with impacts likely on self-control, social competence, and logical deduction, amongst other cognitive abilities. The impact of missing out on formal learning and the already embarrassing entertainment gap in our education system is likely to worsen even with the measures proposed by the government to counter learning loss. It is issues that used to be a major concern for teachers. Even before lockdown, mental health problems and self-harm were on the increase in young people. The risk of both self-harm and suicide dramatically increased in the teenage. During lockdown, we have asked young people to live in conditions that have exacerbated the key risk factor for self-harm and suicide ideation, including social isolation, loneliness, family problems, and feeling trapped. Such bigger picture thinking has been seriously absent in policy making throughout his crisis, which has infuriated many academics who understand and work with risk. Take yourself out of the pathway of one harm and may put yourself directly in the path of another which could be much more dangerous. Teachers worried about their health on returning to school can be reassured and that their professional is no more dangerous than others in terms of dying from COVID-19. So, The virus poses little risk to children. They don't spread it to any great degree, and teaching is safe as other professions in terms of risk from the virus. This is imperative to protect the development, mental health, well-being, and futures. Unfortunately, whole year groups are already being asked to quarantine for 2 weeks because one child has tested positive for COVID-19. Their sacrifice has been enormous during this crisis, and we should not ask them to give up anymore. I personally think that only thinking along the lines of elimination coronavirus without giving heed to the consequence on the disadvantaged young and globally. It is a dereliction of our duties as global citizens. Once again, I personally think that only thinking along the lines of eliminating coronavirus without giving heed to the consequence of the disadvantaged young and globally. Okay, and this is the reflection of our duties as a global citizens. So, maybe that's all from me, and I hope it can be useful to all of you. Thank you for your attention.